I'm back. Hello and welcome to Higurashi when they try Kai. I do not know what the Kai means. I didn't actually know they changed the name for this. But yeah, we're back with the fifth arc, the answer arc. It's been a while since I've actually read. It always does feel good after a long break to start reading a visual novel again. Um, it's not like I was like tired of reading it or anything, but you definitely get that urge. But I guess it's been like especially long for people who aren't interested in the non-read through Higurashi stuff, like the reviews and the theory stuff. So hello. It's been a while. But we're here. And I'm pretty excited. It is midnight and I did come back from work like an hour ago. So I am a bit tired and sore. But this is summer, so that's gonna be like every day, so might as well start getting used to it now. I'm kind of trading in being tired and sore to record at night instead of recording in the day where I might be interrupted and you might hear some background sounds from a TV. So I think it's worth the trade. Sorry if the sound stuffed, honestly. The start of every Higurashi arc, there's usually sound problems, but if there is, I will fix it after this arc, or not after this arc, this episode. So yeah, we're back. Shion's arc. If you haven't seen the theory video, I suggest at least skimming through it, or at least looking over the Watanabe part, since this is, I believe, the Watanabe corresponding arc, or whatever you would call it. Which is pretty exciting, because my masterpiece of a theory is in the Watanabe section, so if I'm right, my ego will be like inflated for a long time, and if I'm wrong, I will be forever humbled. So I'm excited to see. I'm glad we're starting with watching Higurashi. It feels really sudden, but we'll see how good my beloved Rion theory is. And if you're wondering what's this Rion theory, well, watch the theory video. No, but the gist of it is, I think Mion or Shion, I also made the theory where I think, or just my opinion, that Mion and Shion are so interchangeable. I don't really care who's the culprit or who's not. They're not the same character, but they can act like the same character. So like, is there a point of identifying them besides alibis and stuff? Except for like motivations, but it's not like knowing who's who. I would actually guess the motivation, just speculate on it, I guess. But yeah, one of the Sonozakis was working with Rena, and Rena was the one who stabbed Keiichi in the end, instead of it being a zombie Mion or Shion. I am like omega confident on that. Again, more if you want more details, go to the theory video. I believe it's part 2 that I talk about it. But basically, it all started because I noticed when Mion was stabbing Shion, or Keiichi, sorry, she had blue eyes when their eyes are normally green. So that sent my brain into a frenzy, and I'm like, blue eyes? Why does she have blue eyes? Oh, who else has blue eyes? Rena? It's Rena. And then we like logicked out a bunch of stuff. So that's super fun. I'm super excited. Also, just a shout out to anyone who's watched the theory video. I know it's like 4 hours of content, so I don't expect everyone to go to just man mode the whole thing. But for people who've seen some of it, seen all of it, and anyone who's just left a comment, thank you. Just a notice that if I miss your comment, it's blame the YouTube notification system. Honestly, sometimes it just doesn't give me a notification. Sometimes it gives me like one notification for a comment when you've left like multiple. It's been very weird recently. I guess on the flip side though is I'm not getting spammed anymore. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but like for the for the duration of Himatsubushi, maybe in Higurashi near the end, I've been hit by a couple of bots saying, wanna be YouTube friends or whatever. So those have stopped recently, so I'm happy about that. Oh yeah, and instead of lights, I'm just giving out hearts now. Because I would like every comment, but I guess lights are anonymous, so you wouldn't know if I've actually liked it. So now you know I will give you the hearts, which is just a special light. But yeah, just shout out to the commenters. If I missed a comment, if I didn't like heart it or reply, just shoot me another comment or just like copy paste it or whatever, and I will reply to it eventually. Is that everything? I think so. Yeah, a nice 6-minute intro. This no alcohol this time to celebrate the starting. Mainly because I don't have alcohol. This time I have some flavored carbonated water. I've been replacing this with pop for like years. I like it. Some people are like, how can you drink this? I really like it. This time I got bubbly. I've been trying new brands. This one's kind of like a more premium brand. I tried the strawberry last night. This one's pink because it's like peach. It's grapefruit. Grapefruit's alright. I used to hate it as a kid and I love it. Let's just move the can away. Here you go. First time reaction to bubbly grapefruit. It tastes like water. It's actually like a bit more flavorful. Anyways, let's get started. 7-minute intro. That's alright. If you didn't know, again, if you don't check for the other stuff, this is going to be a full week of Higurashi. And by week, I mean 7 days, so strap in. Okay, Shion. Starting Higurashi when they try Kai. Did I try to say this arc name? Meakashi? It's not. What does MEA sound like? Just I thought it was MAE. Meikashi, but it's Meakashi? Meakashi? I will learn it. Well, I mean, I guess I won't unless they say it, but. And I might be pronouncing it wrong for like a week. But I will learn it eventually. Alright, enough's enough. Let's finally start. Let's put I'm scared. I'm scared about if my theories are wrong. What the heck is this? Beloved Cutthroat. Eye-opening chapter. Like, welcome to the world of Higurashi when they cried Kai. We finally reached a halfway point from the viewpoint of the protagonist. Try to find the truth behind the tragedy that unfolds. The difficulty will be very high. It won't be easy to comprehend the motive of the perpetrator. I think Watanashi was like easy, because it was definitely the easiest to guess it was Mion. But I'm excited. Watanashi was my favorite. I do remember someone said Watanashi was their least favorite just because they hated this arc. So that's interesting. I doubt I will hate it, but again, I'm looking for blue-eyed Mions. I'm looking at Ren. I'm looking at the Sonozakis. Just some basic stuff. We are playing as Shion, which is interesting. I guess a big question I have is how true is our perspective? Is it gonna be like the Teichi thing where we actually see everything she thinks? Because if it is, then and she's not like doing anything criminal, then we can kind of write her off, at least in Watanashi. Because I guess she could have been evil in other arcs, but it's interesting having like one of the suspects as a protagonist. If we see them do any sketchy stuff, okay, let's just go. This arc includes choices that were added in the console version. These choices result in dialogue changes and can lead to bad ends. So these were added and not in the original? What the heck? I don't want these. I hate choices in visual novels. I just want my kinetic linear story. Skip additional choices, show only content from PC version, prompt additional choices from the console version. Alright, yo, this is me. Nah. Do people like it if I. Do people like me guessing? Because there was one choice, but I guessed right in Himatsubushi. I like this the most because we get the choice screen, we can save, then we can see the bad ending first, then go to the good ending, or good choice, because I much prefer. Because I don't want to get the good ending, then have to go back later. So let's do this one. Okay. Interesting. I did not know that. She dropped her beads in the sand, so the girl cried for 100 years. The girl searched in the sand. They might be in the ocean, not the sand, so the girl cried for 100 years. The girl searched the ocean. They might be in the mountains, not the ocean, so the girl cried. How many years will pass before the girl wonders if she really dropped them? Ooh, Frederica Berncasto. Just in time. Seven keys were attached to the keychain. Without knowing which key was the correct one, I had to go by instinct and try every key, one by one. On average, I'd reach to the correct key within 3.5 attempts. Made sense. I'd be fortunate if I could open the lock within the first 3 keys. And I'd be unfortunate if I didn't. I had to think of the worst case scenario, getting the right key only on the very last attempt. I fought with my nervousness, my head ached from it. I put in the key and turned it. I just need to repeat all the small procedures several more times, but I couldn't stop shaking. Damn. Even a 3-year-old kid can do something this easy. So, am I more childish than a 3-year-old? Move my mouse out of the way, should be using my keyboard. Whatever, I don't care if I'm clumsy. I just need to try all of these keys. Even in the worst case scenario, the lock will open on the 7th try. Okay, so we are right into Shion's perspective. Reality isn't always the same as math. What happened was worse than the worst case scenario. None of the keys worked at all. I could feel the blood draining from my brain. Did I get the wrong set of keys? I think this isn't as... this could be a very serious scene, but I think it's just going to be something dumb. I wonder if they're going to keep with the normal lightheartedness at the beginning for a while. I'd like that. No, I definitely see a faint marking that says this is the set for this door. Am I just reading it wrong? Should I go back to the key cabinet to look for the right one? That would mean a great loss of time. Just by being here, I'm already risking so much. Something that could ruin everything might happen any moment. If I can't open this lock, do I have to go back to the administration office? If there's no other choice, it'd be a waste of time to spend another second here. The administration office wouldn't necessarily be empty at this time. Somebody might come in. I won't be able to look for the right key if that happens. So, I was gonna say, is she at, her own school? But she might be in Hinamisawa's school. That's what I'm guessing. I stood up quickly, as if electrified. I was almost in a panic, and so felt the urge to move. My instinct pushed me. I have to go back there as quickly as possible. It's dangerous to be in here, and it's also dangerous if somebody comes into the administration office. I cooled my head, making it as chilly as possible to repress my fear. Calm down, Shion. Mian wouldn't panic in this situation. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Why don't I try the keys? One more time. The next moment, I felt a faint vibration in the air. Somebody was walking somewhere in the hallway. If it were a normal situation, I would have known I wouldn't run into them since the footsteps were very far away. But at the time, I couldn't think calmly. Ah, shit. Why am I panicking this much just because of footsteps? Calm down, calm down. I should be feeling excited instead. Calm down, calm down. I just need to do what I have to do. Double train, dude, in 15 minutes. Welcome back, train. It's always nice to have you by our side. You calm me down. I should ignore the footsteps because they're not an immediate threat. Pretend they aren't there. I have to listen for something much more important right now. Ah, shit. This key should be hard and cold, but it's pliable and hot. It feels like rubber. How could I stick this into the keyhole? Shit, shit, shit. It wasn't the key that was pliable. It's my fingers that were limp. Ah, shit, shit, shit. The key sprung out of my hand and fell to the floor. It shouldn't have made any sound because it was so pliable, but it made a tremendous metal noise as if somebody pushed over a cupboard. Cling. Do I have keys? There we go. Role playing. The sound almost stopped my heart. Sorry if that was loud. Should have moved it farther away. I felt dizzy for a while. I looked around afterwards to carefully see if I caused any disturbance to the surroundings. Calm down, calm down. It seems so serious. I wouldn't be surprised if she was just playing like hide and seek or something. Nothing's changed. I could be wrong though. Like I'm slowly starting to believe this is something serious, but I'm willing to bet it's like hide and seek or tag or something. I don't hear anything. So, am I safe? Calm down, calm down, calm down. Wait, I don't hear anything? What about those footsteps in the distance? Though this sound effect is bugging me. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Are they looking for me after they notice the sound? Ah, shit. What is that sound I'm hearing? Is it my sweat dripping on the floor? Shut up, shut up, shut up. How could I hear the sound of my sweat? Calm down, calm down. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Calm the fuck down. I didn't realize, like, obviously I knew we were getting Shion, but we're also getting, like, a different mindset. I mean, we got it with Akasaka, but I mean, it feels kind of like Keiichi, but just a lot more swearing. But I think it's really good to get into the mindset of Shion. Like, already, like, the one part where she says Mion wouldn't do this, like, so it seems like she likes to, or maybe not likes to, but she has a habit of comparing herself to Mion, which would make sense since Mion's the successor of the family, so I'm sure that would it'd be natural to compare yourself to her. Alright. I had to clarify. This isn't a prison or a detention center. Wait. It's a private school. Okay, I was off. This is actually serious. Feels bad. With the sad sound. I thought it kind of sounded like it was in the Hinamizawa place. But she's trying to get out of her private school. At least I was right about the school part. I love this song though. Classic. New music too. I know there's they actually got a composer for this one too, right? So I mean the question mark was quality, but there might be like a more consistency to this. At least they kept this song. This song's an absolute banger. A calming, sad banger. Not a normal one, though. It costs a fortune just to get in. Also, a good thing about Xi'an that I predicted, so that it didn't predict much with Xi'an, since again, I think they're interchangeable. I do think since Mian's a successor, I think Xi'an's more like in the Yakuza side of the family, so she deals with the business and stuff. Like she has her own bodyguard that drives her around, where Mian's just like walking with everyone, right? So even though Mian's the successor, Xi'an almost lives a more pampered life, which is very interesting. It's like Mian's like a higher status, but she has almost more of a burden. While Xi'an's the lower status, but she's living more in luxury. So I can definitely see that being such a big rift for the fan. Oh, this is gonna be so interesting because like Mian's. I mean, Satoko is my favorite character, but Mian's like also my favorite character. So we're gonna get so much. It did say look out for motivation, so this is definitely like we might not get solid answers, but give me motivations. Give me solid motivations, because if everything's speculation, then if we can at least get some solid motivations, it makes it much easier to speculate what's happening. From elementary school to university. Wait, what? It's a boarding school that provides education from elementary school to university? So the university there's too? I've never heard a school like that. Honestly, it's kind of sick. I mean, you get to stay with everyone for a while. It's kind of interesting. Being for girls only, rather than a school, you could say that it's a factory that manufactures ladies. Some of my classmates here have never even used public transportation. In Japan, though I guess it's rural Japan, so... You know, when you think of Japan, you think of public transportation. Because my dad lives in a more rural part. There's like 1-2 buses a day. So he has to like bike everywhere. But I... Honestly, two like golden parts of Japan for me is how good the convenience store food is and the public transportation. I hate the idea of driving. I love just give me a train, give me a bus to go everywhere. I hate driving. I get too nervous to drive, so and our transportation's like I'd say it's like middle tier in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Kind of sucks because I remember a year or two ago, one of the transportation like planners or like some big guy from transportation, maybe management, like came and they're like, "Yo, you want any help, Toronto?" And they're like, "Nah, we got this," which is like you're literally denying help from the masters of transportation. I was cheesed, but it's alright. Anyways, public transportation's kind of blessed in Japan. Though very busy on trains in like Tokyo and stuff, but it's still blessed. Really, it isn't normal. To me, saying, "How nice to see you," instead of just "Hi," is already insane. How nice to see you. Hi. I don't even think I say hi. What do I say? I usually say hello or yo for informalities. And calling the teacher's sisters gives me creeps. Okay, that's a little weird. Hello, sister. How nice to see you, sister. Sisters? Is this like a religious Catholic thing? Maybe? Okay, I thought it was just like, we're so close to you, we're gonna teach you from elementary to university, you might as well be our sisters. Or this could be like a religious sisters thing. I don't know. I hate... Okay, this religious. Okay, it's a little less weird then. I hate the morning and evening prayers, to say nothing of the Sunday Mass. I don't want to memorize the Bible passages, and the Holy Ghost gives me a rash. If I stayed in this institution, that's what I call the place, for many years, I'd either go crazy or be brainwashed. I see you nodding to brainwashing. I'm sure at this point many people have probably at least thought of the idea of brainwashing in this series. I have, for sure. I actually don't hate the idea of it. I think it's more manipulation than outright brainwashing for most of the things. Most of the girls choose to be brainwashed, but I can't do it. After all, I was more impressed by the political schemes and international trade behind religious propagation than by the love of God which the Bible teaches. Because of that, I'd been treated as a problematic child from the beginning. I experienced lots of disadvantages as a result. I realized that quickly, so I superficially pretended to be normal. However, I got tired of acting, so I started to reveal my true self from time to time. I became a problematic child once again. People started to treat me differently once again. Wouldn't that be, insane? Like how deep does the Mion and Shion switch goes? Like, what if, the Mion Reno is actually just Shion? Because, the Mion Reno is, super playful and stuff. So, I didn't see that being, Shion just playing around with everyone. Doing all these club activities because she hasn't, had the time. I can also see a willful switch, because I'm sure Mion is experiencing, while she's experienced something different, she, might also be yearning for the opposite, for, a school life like Shion has. I don't know. It's fun to misbehave, but it wouldn't do anything for me in the long run. So why did I act that way? Why, even though I knew it was going to backfire on me later. Cursed. Cursed verb. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a symptom that I burp. Well, I am drinking bubbly water, so that's fine. I will try harder. I'm so cautious about the sound bars on OBS, but they literally just don't translate to what I hear on YouTube, so I don't know. I mean, it's been a year since I started the YouTube channel and I still don't know what I'm doing. It's alright though. After examining my emotions, I realized that I completely had it with my surroundings. I was afraid of being brainwashed in this institution. I can't live here. I won't let them brainwash me. Since 6 months ago, I decided to escape this place. 6 months ago, Jesus, this is some high-level planning. The moment I made up my mind, I started to feel alive again. I acted ladylike in order to deceive the sisters. Pretending became fun once I set my goal. It gave me the creeps when they told me with smiles that it was God's influence that I started to behave religiously. I laughed at them behind their backs. I took on my classmates' duties in order to understand the layout of the school and the schedules of the staff and the guards. I soon found out that the security of the school was immensely tight, because there were many daughters of important people living there. The guards walked their beat randomly. There were surveillance cameras everywhere. The system that kept out intruders, ironically, also worked to prevent escapees. But that excited me instead. I simulated how to avoid all the surveillance in my head many times. That does sound like a kid. I wonder how old she is, because I doubt this is current year, because we saw her being more free. She was literally working as a maid cafe, at a maid cafe basically a maid cafe. So I wonder after she escaped, the parents were just like, we'll let you do your own thing. If you're going through all this trouble to escape this expensive education. I drew an escape route in the corner of my notes during class and tested if it worked. I strove to acquire any assistant skills for the escape. It was all fun. After all, the situation was cathartic for me. That's who I am. No matter how hard they tried to brainwash me, I'd never change. I'd been waiting for the moment of my escape, preparing physically and mentally. First, I needed the courage to escape. I had to be confident of the plan. I had to think deeply about it. I also needed skills and physical strength. I imagined all the possible obstacles and trained myself. It was funny because I was finally able to enjoy gym classes, even the long distance runs. I needed a perfect plan as well as the physical strength and skills necessary to execute it. Also supported by those things, I needed determination. I made sure that I had all I needed and executed my plan. Hey! I remember this room. This is the room. This is Akasaka's hotel room. I decided to plant a seed in the school before the appointed day. The seed was a rumor that one of the male teachers was having a relationship with a student. Oh, that's dirty. I mean, it's dirty in the literal sense, but it's also like a sly move. I won't go into details now, but that can turn into an enormous problem in this school. I mean, in any school, you would think. Maybe not like in university, but like in most schools. I'm pretty sure it's not allowed in university either. The school is limited to girls precisely because their parents want to avoid those kinds of problems. Those parents are mostly important people from various positions. If the romance was a fad and it was leaked to the public, the principals would have to commit suicide in shame. In fact, even that might not be enough. I mean, I thought, like, okay. I knew there was shame, but I didn't think it would be that bad. But I mean, I guess it is Japan. In a world of girls, rumors spread fast. Especially when they're separated from boys that are obsessed with dirty thoughts. So this kind of rumor goes around really quickly. The sisters try to get rid of that kind of rumor and they warn the students not to be swayed by it. But apparently, they're the ones who are most swayed by those rumors. This means that I managed to make them fugitively deal with something shady without contacting families or the authorities. So if I disappeared in these circumstances, it looked like I ran away with some teacher. All the male teachers would deny it, of course. However, the school wouldn't believe what they said so easily. I see, so it's not just a distraction to escape, it's a distraction to, like, not that the parents involved, though I'm sure the teachers would also look for her. But, like, yeah, that's a good short-term plan, because, spend, like, it might give you a couple days before the teachers reel it in and call the parents. However, the school wouldn't believe what they said so easily. After all, there's a dirty rumor going around. By the time the school finds out about my escape, after they eliminate all the other possibilities, I'll be somewhere safe. I tried hard to spread the rumor that I was involved in a forbidden romance as wildly as possible. The sisters questioned me a few times, but since the romance was something I made up, they couldn't find anything. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't find any evidence. After 3 months, I was certain that I'd created a solid foundation. I swapped after dinner duties with my classmates so that I could adjust my schedule on this day. I was even able to fill them with suspicion about me doing that. Now they'll definitely suspect I ran away with some male teacher. Tonight was the night. I began my chores after dinner. After it lights out, somebody will find out about my disappearance. My generous roommate would probably wait about 10 minutes before she reported me to her sister, but no longer than that. I had about an hour tops, but that's enough for me. We're zooming. I took a step off my regular route. That was the first step towards my great escape. I calmed down and thought, the key shouldn't be wrong. This lock is old and firm. It isn't possible that I put the right one in, but the lock was stiff and I only thought I got the wrong one? Isn't it possible? I realized that my nervousness was making me clumsy. The gloves that I'm wearing to avoid leaving fingerprints must be getting in the way too. I should try the keys one more time. I picked up the most probable one and then gently inserted it into the keyhole. It's stiff. If I twist it too strongly, it might break the key. The moment I thought of giving up, I felt something at my fingertips. The key worked. I slowly opened the door. I could hear the crickets. We're in cricket territory, not cicada territory. That feels safer. I don't have time to hesitate now. But somehow I'm reluctant to step outside. I can still make excuses up to this point. It might look awkward, but I still can. But if I take a step outside now, there can be no excuse. If the guards find me, they'll take me to the office immediately. There have been escape attempts before. That's not really so strange. I don't think I'm the only heathen here. I'm the only heathen here. That's funny. It's understandable that there have been people who couldn't fit in this place. So the school is well aware of the possibility of escapees. I've heard the rumors about what happened to those who were caught while attempting to escape. I don't want to believe any of those stories, though. Bro, inverted vision. You see, all the school's horror stories involve students who attempted escapes. Well, whatever. Bring it on. What is this on? This is new, I think. Ooh. I'm feeling it. Okay. It's definitely it's weirdly soft but intense at the same time. I'm not expecting to get a second chance anyways. There'll always be the one. There'll always be one. This is what happens when you take like 2 months off reading. There'll always be one. There'll always be only one chance. My mind, it's dying. The instant serious beyond this door. I set myself up and pushed the door open. A strong smell was hanging in the air. Is that normal for the outside? I never smelled this strong, grassy smell before. Is there something going on? Do I have to be wary of it? Should I go back and wait for another chance? That's silly. There's nothing strange going on. This smell is something I smell every day. I just wasn't aware of it. It's true, isn't it? Even though I pretend to be cool, I'm nothing but a nervous wreck. Yo. First CG. Let's get a look. I mean, she looks normal. I mean, the same age. Maybe slightly younger. She looks a little... How do I say it? A little rougher on the drawing. Maybe it's not rougher. Maybe a little more mature. I don't know. Drawing looks slightly different. Calm down. Calm down, Shion. I can rely only on this map inside my head from this point onward. I'd researched the locations of all the surveillance cameras. I'm confident that I'll be able to avoid all of them. But I'm not sure about the guards. They'll pit their patrol routes randomly after all. I have to take a chance. I can hide myself in most places. But there's an area where there's nowhere to hide for several meters. I concentrated to keep my senses keen. Well, I have to depend on my luck in the end. Even if I do my best, the guard might find me by mere chance. On the contrary, I might be get away no matter how unwisely I choose to move if I'm lucky. Good old luck. Everybody loves it. Damn, after all that effort, it just boils down to luck. This is a gamble after all. When I realized that, I got excited. Yes, this is a gamble. I'm trying my luck. This is a game to test the determination to change my life. If somebody failed to escape from the school, that meant they didn't have enough luck to survive in the real world. But I'm different. I'm going to get out of here. I'm testing my luck. Here goes. Shion! I ignored the noisy buds and concentrated only on suspicious sounds. I heard no threats. The loudest sound wasn't the buds, it was my own heartbeat. Crunch? Even my own footsteps were so loud they could break my eardrums. With each and every step, my overactive imagination tormented me with the premonitions of unexpected run-ins with guards. Countless times that torture grew too hard to bear, and I thought of running. But if I broke into a run, the noise I made would only draw suspicion. If anyone heard a running at a time and place where people shouldn't be, they would have realized something abnormal was happening. But if the footsteps they heard were just walking, then they'd likely think nothing of it. Of course, I don't plan on even letting them hear those footsteps. I tried to extend my senses to get as much information as possible. I didn't sense anyone's presence. I might have felt safer if I heard a guard in the distance. I'm worried that my senses might not be keen enough to detect everything. Somebody might be right behind me, without me even being aware of it. I didn't want to make any noise, so I stopped from time to time. It's like I'm constantly fidgeting. To stop or to run. Something within me urged to choose from either one. I can't choose to stop. I have to keep going quickly and stealthily. I'm already risking so much just by being here. Running, of course, would be absurd. I know that. The urge to run continued to bud me. My head was filled with those thoughts as I went through this dangerous territory. I succeeded in passing through without running into anybody. I couldn't help but sit for a moment and exhale the rotten air from my lungs. My negative thoughts vanished quickly. Run, Shion, run. Just a little more to go. Just a little more. Just through that bush over there is the fence that separates this place and the outside world. Once again, I strongly felt the urge to run. I suppressed that desire and carefully tackled the final step. The beautiful-looking fence didn't seem designed to prevent escapes. While I was worried that somebody might see me climbing up the fence, it fortunately didn't happen. It's even possible that this fence might have a touch sensor. It's too late now. It doesn't mean anything now since I'm already climbing up. From the top, the fence seemed about 7 feet high. I have to go down carefully, just like when I climbed up. I knew that logically, but I couldn't think that way anymore. I chose to jump off with no hesitation. Of course I regretted my decision during the fall. I got scared because the flight was longer than I expected. I didn't land beautifully. I fell onto my butt. But there's nobody around to laugh, and I didn't have any time to be embarrassed. I looked around to see if anybody heard my landing. Even the crickets weren't interested in the sound I made. I felt relieved. I looked at my watch. 5 minutes till 8 p.m. It was just a 15-minute escape. Putting the numbers to it, it really made obvious how short it had been. Looking back, most of the time I was just asking myself questions and hesitating. I guess I worried too much. But I can't be too relaxed just yet. There's no guarantee that I fooled all the cameras. This place isn't a bank. There won't be a fire alarm going off even if the guards did see me. It's possible they're rushing this way right now. I can't enjoy the air of freedom yet. I hid myself into the darkness and waited. There's still time left until the rendezvous. Okay, so someone's picking us up. Maybe it's our seasoned bodyguard, aka the witness, or it may not be the same guy, but there's the guy in the hint that drove Shion. There's also, I assume he's the same guy that thinks Mion killed Shion, though it was just sounds like a suicide. That's the chapter break. And I think we're gonna wrap it up. 45 minutes, not bad. We did have a 10-minute introduction, basically. But again, it's the first episode of the series. I do gotta like just welcome everyone back and stuff. So next time, even if we have a 45-minute intro, we probably will get a bit farther ahead. And again, 7 episodes in a row, guys. It's alright. It doesn't have to be like an hour long for each one. So yeah, thank you for watching. I did not expect. I honestly expected just like some fun stuff at the beginning, but we're getting. I mean, this is fun in its own way. I mean, last chapter felt like or last arc felt like a crime movie, Yakuza crime movie. I didn't expect like a sort of a escape movie, almost a prison escape movie with some pretty interesting planning from a schoolgirl, no less. Like pretty detailed. But yeah, thank you for watching again. I will see you tomorrow. Again, since I usually don't pre-record this much, I mean I won't get all 7 before the week starts, but I'll get like maybe 3 or 4 down. So if something is amiss, it might be a bit until I adjust it, though I might notice it myself. Also, yeah, feel free, again, as always, feel free to leave any comments, questions. If anyone can also tell me how to say the name of this chapter, feel free. Like, I usually know at least how to pronounce it, and then it just takes a while for it to flow, but I don't know what this... When I read it, I think Meakashi, it's gonna bother me until I know, but it's gonna be a while until I know, so. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great night, morning, day. Great life in general. And see you next time.